that. Really, what we have been seeing for both of these players is allowing the opponent to swing, retreating a little bit, and then responding with your disjoints. You don't want to be preemptively tossing out hitboxes in this matchup, or really any matchup in this game. It's always going to be better when you have that space available to dash back and allow your opponent to fall into your hitboxes.
Yep, so true. So, Omega, you know, despite all of those difficulties against the Peach, you know, I feel like Olimar is definitely a little easier. I hope. I really hope so.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a difficult matchup, but in this situation, you know what actually is the most annoying bit? Ollie is short, and that can really toss Joker for a loop in some occasions.
No, you're right. I definitely agree, and we already saw how difficult the purple disjoint has been against another sortie. I feel like Omega might find the same problems that maybe Mr. E found against Candle, but I think that because you have a little bit more explosivity in Joker, I think well, you're definitely going to need it, but I think that might be
we saw the
enough.
Explosivity right there. Character definitely exploded.
He definitely
in that
exploded,
situation.
but it's supposed to be the other way.
I know. I got to give it to you, though.
All right. Still getting a couple multi-hits, good coverage options. Candle, they're playing patiently yet again. This is exactly what I would expect, setting the stage for the set.
I mean, it feels like we've seen this match before with things like Shuta and Kaleo, where typically what ends up happening is that the Ollie holds down neutral and then occasionally dies at 30.
Yep.
That's kind of the matchup. It's explosivity is the name of the game, and right here, the problem has been Candle, they are not letting go of this neutral.
No, it's certainly not, and they are, again, doing the right things that they were doing in the last set that we saw them in. You know, it's the micromanagement of the Pikmin, knowing when to get things like the blue grab. It just feels like Omega playing checkers and Candle's playing chess.
Get up and out. Oh no, was that not a forward tilt and a jab instead? Very smart from Omega. I and Candle both thought 1 hit, 2 hit, I can drop shield and get the punish. No such luck though.
Look at all this damage off that white Pikmin. You gotta get that dude off of you.
So much, yeah, 60 already. Does get the whistle, but it just sets up for the next back air.
Hey, I mean, Arsene frame data, does it need any introduction? I say nay.
I mean, remember when I said this character sometimes dies at 30? We're kind of seeing it right there. A little bit of big brother coming in clutch with the assist.
A little help from my friends. We still got it, but Omega, it's not over yet. It is over.
It is, in fact, over.
It isn't actually over, yeah. I mean, Candle, after they lost that second stock, they're like, yeah, all right, that's okay. Once I feel like I can start swinging again, we're good. But at high percents, I know I got to play a little bit more safe. I know I can't really take the risk that I have, and especially off the Angel platform. There's always a renewed vigor.
I feel like that's kind of the top player mentality.
Yeah.
If you're playing a character like this that just relies on getting into neutral and then forcing your advantage state through patient gameplay, you cannot allow yourself to be goaded into swinging aggressively when you're losing a stock to something silly.
Oh, I died. Guess what? I get a free in. I'm just going to walk towards you, and you're going to put yourself on ledge, and then we'll see what happens.
A triple back here from Omega. Please drift in. I need one of these to connect.
It's like, can I get some of them back?
Can
I get some of them back airs? I need some of them. All right, but hey, I don't know. Omega gonna get a grab. Very nice little snatch here, but this time we're starting to get these whistles covered. I mean, it feels like we're taking the hit on the chin, but then Omega fires right back.
Good job just waiting with these drifting aerials. Omega using the mobility of Joker to its best effect. Problem is, so far for Candle, they haven't been able to get anything going, trying to play a little bit more grounded right there, and Omega switched up the game plan, drifting in, drifting out with things like neutral air and back air, and Omega struggled to get a hit game 1, game 2. It has been so different.
Absolutely. But with a full Arsene bar, anything could happen. Whoa, that's the mix-up. Not going to go underneath all the way. Going to throw out one of the expendables and then get yourself back to safety. Omega has to do a course correction. Has to keep this edge guard going. Finally, we get something here. Even with the purples, that drift is not enough. You're not moving fast enough to avoid that.
Arsene down here just so disjointed that in those situations, you have to get the mix-up. It's entirely, did I trick my opponents? Because they have every single tool, and you might be able to throw out a purple in the best of times, and that was not the best of times.
This is the worst of times indeed. I feel like we've got that down throw holding in on the DI. Candle, they got to be careful about that one.
Trying to use that invulnerability, does manage to get the aggressive purple Pikmin up there, back onto center stage. Great forward tilted edge, catching catching Candle jumping in. Very smart by Omega.
For sure, for sure. You have to wait. Throwing down that those Pikmin. But yeah, the fastball nature of Omega's Joker just allows him to kind of bypass some of these edge guard opportunities. But we're going real deep for that one.
Tries for the trump, too.
Woo! Too short, too short, too short.
Short Kings rise up. What can I say? That was a miserable moment in I Am Omega. Doesn't matter, though. Still connects with the next back air. 3-stock victory. What a page-turner nerf.
It definitely was, and a couple whiffed opportunities from Candle. You know, they got a little greedy looking for those purple aerials, and Omega just wasn't having it. You know, finally, we get a whiff punish that will seal the game. Omega on the board, and we got a set.
It's a situation where if you're down that much, I could kind of understand why you need to be aggressive, why you want to swing so frequently, but I mean, we're going for haymakers when in reality what you need is 3 in a row plus several different neutral exchanges. I want to play safe if I'm in that spot.
I know.
But this is why Candle is such an explosive player. They understand that sometimes it's best to swing for the fences or preserve your mentality for the next game.
Exactly, right. I mean, sometimes you don't want to have to put in the mental energy to have to get through that stuff. You just kind of, oh, okay, we'll just run it back. In this case, we are going to indeed run it back. Small battlefield, 2 platforms, but lots of coverage from both players. Feels like almost Arsene. We've got that here.
Down tilt into the purple forward air. Solid damage from Candle. Trying for 2-frame. No, actually, Omega. An awkward angle trying his best to dodge Candle's edge trap and being a little overzealous with the drift.
Yeah, you know, I know Olimar, he's frightening. I know, but you gotta keep your cool.
Terrified.
Keep your composure. Look at this. Ooh. It's technically it's Alf. I'm sorry, it's even worse.
That gun confirmed to the up smash?
Goat.
What an angle. I've seen Omega get like 4 or 5 of these gun confirms from either down angles or even just dash back gun into dash forward up smash, and it does feel as though that is the X factor so far from Omega.
Yeah, but that X factor might not be enough because a full stock lead is what separates him and this potential lead in bringing this back. Candle, they've been so dominant in this one. Even with a couple of those quick flubs, feels like they've just been gaining ground consistently.
Is it just me or does it?
Or
I'm not going to finish my thought right there because Omega finishing that stock way too early in that situation.
It's just another missed tech. I mean, Candle has missed a couple of these big spikes into the stage. That one was more crucial than the last.
At like low to mid percents too, yeah. I was going to say it feels like whoever hits the haymakers tends to win the game. So will that be the reversal that Omega needed? Candle, that lead has been erased.
Oh, but the extension, there it is. Lots of end lag on that move because you extended off the Pikmin, and this could be, if Candle is ready for it, their way in.
That F smash was disgusting, Nerd. If that connected, I think that was gone.
Oh, the double dash back. You are not getting back in on me. I'm going to control this stage all the way to the end.
Yeah, check out the spacing here. We're not going to hit any buttons. Don't get the 2-frame opportunity. Double dash into the immediate pivot around.
Yup. And Olimar having very quick smash attacks in that regard allows him that opportunities. Candle, they're doing great. Can you say?
In this situation, I feel as though Candle is reliant a little bit on these evenly handed games.
Perhaps.
Like, Candle gave away a stock right there and it came into these last stock situation, but then we went back to a spot where Candle could play from center stage. If Candle is getting forced into these scramble situations, it feels like Omega is winning 9 out of 10 of them. Because
that is true.
The hitbox that we've seen cover the whistle, we haven't seen Candle really go for whistle too much since games 1 and 2.
That's true. They've been kind of like forced away from that option, but still we are seeing it every once in a while. You know, in close range, they have no other option or face a lot more damage and potentially an edge guard to boot. Still, gonna wait for that pass through. Simply just wait and doesn't even try to punish the missed counter. Feels like Candle is not taking any risks right now.
0 buttons with Arsene out. I respect that option. Just time out this opportunity.
Yeah. Just wait it out, throwing a couple options, and then going over the ledge. Omega still feeling a little bit more desperate every second. Has to get the kill.
That was the first time that we've seen really Whistle save a stock for Candle.
True. Okay, but even then, you know, once you get your feet back on ground, Omega is the one who finds himself reverse edge guarded. Double ups. Oh my god, look at the damage.
Yeah, that's a solid trade. You take 60 and then you get Arsene in return.
I'll take it.
Oh my god, but Arsene doesn't matter.
Where did Arsene go? The same place Joker did.
Missing those techs in the corner is so devastating. Omega, though.
No rage.
Yeah.
Sad. Oh, but it doesn't even matter. Goes deep for it yet again. Omega still makes the plays. The shot calling. God, you gotta love it.
Candle, very big opportunity for Omega. Again, the whistle. I talked about that. Candle hadn't been using it, but now this game, it has been so clutch.
But the thing is, Omega went for a grab, and it was the drift in that allowed Candle to get by. It wouldn't. The whistle would not have saved them against that grab.
Good point. A couple flashing shields right there. Omega desperately looking for a parry, not going to work out. Doesn't land the aerial, does get a back air. Full stage control, intercepting that projectile. These Pikmin, mobile hurt boxes and that dash attack. Too aggressive, too little, too late. 3-1 Candle.
Arsene left right at that moment. He's like, I don't know. I don't know about this one. You on your own, man. I can't help you here. Sorry. Because it's like, look, you see all of this pressure. Omega's doing the right things, trying to beat out the Pikmin, trying to do anything here, but it's the relentless onslaught. You run underneath the Pikmin thinking, oh, I got them now. No, you get too close, and there it is. Alpha Smash.
Yeah, that is always the problem. Good out-of-shield options are Ollie's greatest strength, potentially. That up smash it's just so reliable, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, it was getting a lot of leverage with the red Pikmin, but also you can just kill with the purple Pikmin. Like, there's a lot of options, and Candle saves it for the right moments. You know, this isn't like they're just throwing out smash attacks every 5 seconds. Like, is keeping the cards close to the chest.
In addition, the offstage game plan was great for Omega, but just